What are we going to talk about tonight, guys?
Right? We're talking about City of Bones, which is by Cassandra Clare and is the first in a 6-book series, I think.
Yeah, 6.
All right. And so Andrea and I have both read it. Liz has not, but you have read something that is similar, and we'll get into that, but don't talk about it yet. Okay, kick us off with a synopsis.
This one's a really hard one to give a synopsis on because you're like, you can't like say what's happening because that will like tell all the good twists and turns. It's basically about this girl's life, and then they're looking for something and they discover something else.
That is like the best secretive review ever, or synopsis.
I don't even know how to even, it's just about, I mean, it's a fantasy book about a girl's life.
Do you like the girl?
Yeah.
Her name's Clary.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I'd say Clary's the main character, and then she has a best friend named Simon. And then they meet a third main character pretty early on in the book.
Yeah. And then,
it's hard to not give too much away, but she kind of pulled into this realm of things that she didn't know existed, and then starts to embark on this personal kind of quest.
Yeah.
What kind of fantasy? Is it like set in our world, like Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's in New York.
Is there magic? Are there dragons?
No. Well, they're like demons. I would
They're like
dragons are my favorite. Every good book needs a dragon.
There was a dragon. They said they're almost extinct. There was like an argument about dragons still existing between some of the characters.
They
say this, but there's like, I don't know, very few of them.
So it passes Liz's check. Had dragons, check. Okay, now that we've established that, do your rating, Anne.
I would give it an A-. I totally liked it. I read it in one day. I like the main character. Sometimes I don't, and then I don't really like the book as much, but I really like the main character and her friends. Well, one of them I find kind of annoying, but for the most part, I really like the characters, and then the action's well written, and it's not like too YA where I'm just like bored, but it's really good. I really liked it. I read it literally in one day.
I would rate it, so my rating's a little biased because I read this a few years ago and I just read up on it to do this review to like recall what had happened. And it's hard for me to rate just this book and not the whole series. So, and compare it to the other series. So it's very hard for me to like single in, but I think I also would rate this like the very first book, like a B+, because I don't know if I would read it again because I'd have to read the entire series again, but it's very easy to read. It's a very captivating story, and it definitely draws you into where you want to keep on reading, like book 2, 3, or 4. Etc. But I want to get into spoilers because I have to say a few things.
I will say that like this, for being the first book of the series, there's a lot that happens, whereas sometimes the first book is like world building and it's kind of like tedious. This book was not like that at all. Like it just got straight to the action, and you just like have to learn the people as you go and the world as you go. So that was kind of nice.
That's a really good point. There is a ton that happens on there. It doesn't really have any slow or dull moments. No. So this is the first book, and what is the technical name of this series? The Mortal Instruments.
Yes.
So this is set in kind of like modern day, but then there's the Clockwork series. I think that's the same. Which is kind of the prequel. It's like a whole complete story that happens a couple hundred years before this one is set, and so Liz and I have both read those. That's the book.
That Infernal Devices?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. When Andrew told me she was reading this, I thought she was reading Infernal Devices, and I got confused. No, okay.
No. So that is set more in the time period, I'd say, to Black Witch, where it kind of seems
Okay.
like colonial, like buggies and.
It was like Victorian, is what I always think of.
Yes. Yeah. So it's more Victorian. I think it's like 200 to 300 years before Mortal Instruments. But what's cool is that they're kind of interwoven to where in the Mortal Instruments they'll mention the main characters and things that happen to them after the Infernal Devices concluded. So you get to hear kind of like snippets of like Tessa's future and things like that through the
I
series.
hated it.
Really,
Sorry.
you can't say that. That's a spoiler.
I didn't say why. I just didn't like the ending. Also, Madeline, didn't you name your dog after like the main character? And
Tessa, my dog, yeah. Tessa's named after Tessa Gray from the Infernal Devices. I think it's a very pretty name. And she's sassy, kind of like her, so it fits. Let's do spoilers. Okay. First of all, I have to know who's your favorite character from this first book.
Definitely Jace.
Is it?
But I've also started like the third book, so I hate Simon. I think he's a whiny little baby. He's like, it's like pity party after pity party with Simon. I'm just like,
yeah,
I like Jace the best.
He
I also
does.
like Magnus Bane.
That's my favorite, Magnus Bane.
He's so awesome.
He is.
And he's always like so annoyed because everyone is bothering him.
He's just like very particular but confident. He's like the go-to guy who like solves all the problems or like knows the answer, or he's a warlock, I think. Is that right?
Yeah. Yep.
It's very cool. Liz, I feel like you would really like this world because
I think so too.
I think I'm a good warlock.
You would be a warlock?
I think so.
Do you know what that is? I never knew.
It's like a wizard.
I thought I think in this sense, isn't it when like
Googling it.
someone has sexy time with a demon? It makes a warlock?
I thought that they were like witches and wizards.
I don't know.
I think it has to do with a demon.
Yeah, I mean they're undead. Like they are demons. No, are you thinking of vampires?
No.
Yeah, because vampires don't have a heart.
Right. Am I right, Liz?
No.
I didn't think that was right. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I would have remembered that since
It's a male practitioner of witchcraft, according to.
That's what I thought.
All right. Well, then maybe I wouldn't be. I'm not a man.
Because Magnus Bane's dad. Maybe this is too much of a spoiler. I shouldn't say it. I could be wrong. I think that they, like, you know, the Downworlders or something? Like the
Downworlders.
Yeah, like
werewolves and
okay, I'm gonna just stop talking. But
other
if anyone
things.
watching this knows the definition of a warlock in the sense of the Mortal Instruments, please tell us.
According to Google, a warlock is a man who practices witchcraft. So I would not be a warlock, but wizard does not have to be male or female. So maybe I'm a wizard because witch be restricted.
Will you be a witch?
Yeah.
Or a wizard.
Liz just does not want to be called a witch, but you are. If you're a female.
I'd be a Wolverine. That would be fun.
A Wolverine?
Yeah.
That's so aggressive.
Oh my goodness.
Fine, whatever they call him in the Million Fantasy books.
The biggest cliffhanger in this, and Liz, you should still read this book, but we're going to give the base away, is that Jace and Clary are brother and sister, and they totally made out in this book.
This so bothered me. I'm like Star Wars. Like, you're like, what?
Yeah.
This is awkward. And he's like, I don't think it's that bad. Let's just ignore the fact that we're brother and sister. And she's like, I don't think I can. I was like, what?
But there's still that like flirtatious tension between them.
Yes. Even Simon's like mad about it.
they grow up together? Did they like know they were siblings?
No.
But they still flirt even after they find out? Like, that's weird.
Yeah.
They've just got a really deep connection.
You know, after all the ugly and wonderful things, like this is no big deal.
Right.
I'm like wondering if something's gonna like, I have some predictions about it where I'm like,
Well, we'll just have to continue to do book reviews and see if how this all plays out.
yes.
It's a very good story though, and I will say it's very twisted. Like there are a lot of unexpected story endings, not just for like the main two people, but for the side characters too.
A TV show about this.
There's a movie too.
I heard the movie was not as close to the book as the TV show, because I was gonna see which one I should
I've
watch.
seen like the first 2 episodes of the TV show.
They actually casted it quite well. Like it is what I had pictured in my mind for the TV show. The movie was not done well. That did differ quite a lot from the original storyline, and it was super rushed. It left out so many things that were imperative to like the entire story. Not really like the first book, but the entire story. Okay, so you should read City of Bones with us. We're going to be doing all 7 or 6 or 7 through the next few weeks. So tag along.